Now when it comes to brakes and brake changes, I'm still amazed at the number of myths that are out there that just won't die. And honestly, I think a lot of these myths stem from shops trying to upsell parts and services. Today, I'm clearing up the top 5 myths that I hear about brakes and brake jobs all the time. So hopefully you can avoid wasting time and money on a brake job that you might not even need. And not only am I gonna bust these myths, I'm gonna give you some tricks along the way for those of you that wanna do your own brake jobs. Now the first myth is one that I hear all the time. In fact, I just got a call last weekend where the guy said, hey, I need new brake pads. And I said, well, how do you know? Did you get them inspected? Did you look at them yourself? And he said, no, but they're squeaking, so I must need them replaced. So the misconception is, as soon as people hear that squeaking sound when they hit their brakes, they automatically assume that they need new brake pads. Brake pads often have these little feelers on them. So in theory, when the brake pad material wears down far enough, this little feeler rubs on the brake rotor and creates a squeaking noise, letting you know that your pads are getting low. So there is a little bit of truth to this myth. What people don't realize is there's a lot of other reasons that brakes can make a squeaking noise, and it sounds just like it does when this little thing starts squealing. So one reason, and one I see a lot, is contaminants in the brake system. So for example, if it rained overnight and you have a thin film of rust on your rotor, that can easily cause your brakes to squeak. This is a pretty extreme example, but this rotor's been sitting out in the rain for quite some time and it has heavy rust, so you get some crazy noises from that, but it really doesn't take much. Another way that you can get squeaking is if you drive on dusty roads or somewhere where there's a lot of dust and gets all in your brake system, that alone will cause brakes to start squeaking. Other contaminants such as dirt, or even in extreme cases, little rocks can get stuck places. A real common area is in this vent hole in your brake pad, and so now you got a rock stuck in your pad rubbing on the rotor every time you push the pedal. Another reason for that squealing is when brakes get overheated. And when they get too hot, you know, if you're riding the brake too long down a steep hill, the rotors will often get like discolored blue, purple color. They'll get super shiny, essentially becoming glazed. On the pad side of things, same thing can happen. You can see the new pad is kind of a matte surface, and a glazed pad is really shiny, often has shiny spots, or it'll have cracks or chunks missing. And when a pad and or a rotor gets glazed and overheated like that, they often squeal against each other. Now, unfortunately, if you have glazing on your pads and or your rotors, you're gonna get that squeak, and the only way to get rid of it is to replace those parts. Here's the thing, even if this is the case, your brakes are still gonna stop your car. Now, before you blast me online with the comments, no, I'm not saying it's gonna be as 100% effective as brand new pads and rotors, but it's still gonna get the job done. I have driven plenty of my own cars where I've let it squeak a little bit, and it still stops just fine. As long as there's enough meat on the brake pad and no big chunks missing out of it, you might as well just keep driving it. Otherwise, you're spending hundreds of dollars on a brake job just to get rid of a little noise. Now, the next reason for brake squeal is cheap parts. When I first started out doing brake jobs for people, I would try to save them money by buying parts online or the cheapest set of brake pads I could at the local auto parts store. And I found that a lot of people came back to me saying, my brakes are squeaking, even though you just replaced them. So what I started to do was spend a little bit extra money, get higher quality brake parts, and I stopped getting complaints about squeaking. So that noise could just be coming from cheap pads and rotors. But like I discussed with the overheated brakes before, as long as there's enough meat on the pad, it's probably gonna work to stop your car just fine. But in the future, when you're getting ready to change your brakes, consider spending a little bit more and getting that next tier of brake pad quality to hopefully avoid squeaks in the future. Now, it doesn't have to be Akabono brand, super expensive pads for your car. There's a big difference between the absolute bottom of the rung and the next step up. Now, an auto shop is gonna be more than happy to take your money. So if you're hearing that squeaking sound when you're pressing the brake pedal, just confirm that you actually need to get your brake pads replaced before you fork over a whole bunch of money for an unnecessary brake job. Hey guys, I know that these subscription requests get old, but we do really want to keep putting out quality content for you in the future, and it helps us out the most when you subscribe. So thanks for doing it. The next myth you'll hear a lot, especially from shops, is that when you go in to replace your brake pads, you must also replace your brake rotors. And the reason that they say this is because pads and rotors wear together. And so if you put a new pad on an old rotor, the surfaces won't exactly match up, and so your braking power will be slightly reduced. And that is technically true. However, If your rotor isn't damaged, like torn up from a brake pad that went down to metal contact, or it's not warped, then you can absolutely reuse it. Now, it may take your new pad a little bit longer than normal to bed into that old rotor, but ultimately they're gonna work just fine and you're gonna be able to stop your car. Replacing your rotors, whether you're doing it yourself or hiring a mechanic to do it for you, could easily double the price of your brake job. So don't fall for the myth, save your money. If you're interested, we made a video on how you can get your rotors to last the lifetime of your car. You can check that out in the link above. The next myth I hear from DIYers all the time is that you need specialty equipment to change your own brakes. And they're usually referring to when it comes to compressing this caliper. And it is one of the harder parts of the job. Now, they do make specialty tools just for this purpose. Here's one that I use for compressing that piston back inside the caliper. Here's another one, comes with all kinds of different bits for different kinds of brake systems. This one actually you can get for free at an auto parts store with a tool rental program, but you do not need any of these. To compress most brake calipers, all you need is a flathead screwdriver. Before you take the caliper off to remove the old brake pads, you can stick that screwdriver in there and pry the caliper away from the car, which compresses this cylinder. That way, when it comes time to put the new pads on, the piston is already compressed. You don't have to mess with any of those specialty tools, and the caliper will just drop down on top of the new pads. And the rest of the brake job really can be done with basic hand tools, some wrenches, some pliers, etc. And if you're interested, we made a full-length video on this process. We'll put a link to that in the description. So, bottom line, there's no reason anyone should be intimidated to do their own brakes. You just need a few basic tools that you probably already have in your garage. The next myth out there is that when it comes time to change your brake pads, you gotta go ceramic. Well, that is true. Like, we used to have old school organic pads that weren't quite as good. They were a lot more dirty and would wear out faster. Then they came out with ceramic, and they're better in many ways. What a lot of people don't realize is just because a brake pad is ceramic doesn't necessarily mean it's high quality. So for example, I went to look at brakes for the van here, and there were 3 different options, all ceramic, at 3 different price points. You could get a ceramic pad, but if it's a low quality one, you can still get issues like dust, fast wear, and squeaks. So if you're going to buy a set and you're presented with a few options, just don't go with the cheapest tier, and you'll be better off for it. Now, if you really want to nerd out on brake pads, we made a full exhaustive video on how to choose the best brake pads for your car. You can check that in the link above. The next myth has to do with the brake pedal. Now, a lot of people, when they're driving and their brake pedal feels squishy, or they have to push it really hard to get the car to stop, they automatically assume, because of this, I have to get my brakes replaced. Now, it's very, very unlikely that worn out brake pads would cause this condition. Maybe if the brakes had been extremely overheated or were super glazed, but more often than not, this squishy pedal or hard to stop feeling is caused by something totally different. So one of the main reasons you get a squishy brake pedal is from air getting into your brake system. A common way that this happens is you develop a leak somewhere in your system, reservoir gets low, and you start getting air into your brake lines. It makes it really hard to stop because your brake pedal is compressing air instead of fluid. Another cause for a soft brake pedal, or even more accurately, a sinking brake pedal, can be a failing master brake cylinder. And surprise, surprise, we actually have a full-length video on diagnosing master brake cylinder failures. And you don't want to miss it because it can be a really dangerous problem. So the moral of this story is, don't go out and get a brake job when your brake pedal feels squishy, because more often than not, it's not caused by your brake pads and you'd be wasting your money. If you enjoyed learning about brake myths, you definitely want to check out this one we made on 7 common car myths. So don't miss out.